long ago in a living room very much like yours, two women made up a podcast on how movies link up to each other, and they called it 6 Degrees of Feature Film.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6 Degrees of Feature Film podcast. I am Brianne, also known as Miss Movies.
And I'm Stacey Howard.
And guess what?
What?
We are in a special location today.
We are.
So exciting.
Yes. We are inside a cartoon.
Which cartoon would that be?
We're inside the bar from The Simpsons.
That's right, because we are at Ken Napzok's house. Hey, Ken.
Yeah, hey, what's going on?
Oh, you know,
Yeah?
just this, that, everything. I'm drinking,
You're
which
drinking?
is unfortunate for everyone.
Everyone's drinking. Everyone has a whiskey and a
great.
mic.
Our current
Everything we need.
episode talks about what happens when I drink, so this will be interesting.
Oh.
So
okay.
now,
Well,
maybe
I
the transformation will happen while I'm on air.
I would love to see that.
I didn't give you a lot per your
That's
own
true.
request.
That's true.
Kind of disappointing, but I think if you come to my house to podcast, you need to have some whiskey.
Yes.
To participate.
This is 15-year Redbreast whiskey. It was a gift for my departure to the last job. It's very sweet and smooth, and it does the job well.
It does. I already feel it a little bit. I feel the
It's
burn
delicious.
going down the throat. I feel the warmth in my
Yeah.
soul, and I'm ready to talk some movies.
I do have to drive though, so that's why I said let's keep it
Ladies,
loose.
you can stay here all night.
All right.
We've
Thanks,
got
Ken.
more whiskey.
So today we're talking Shop Girl.
Yeah, this is depressing.
Is it?
Yes.
All
It's
right.
great.
Well, this came out November 4th, 2005. And if you haven't seen the film, which I would say go find this film and see it, it is an adaptation of Steve Martin's novel about a complex love triangle between a bored salesgirl, a wealthy businessman, and an aimless young youth. Or, you know, I would say an artist. Aimless artist.
Yeah. A young LA kid.
Very LA.
Yeah, very LA.
He's every guy I've ever dated out here.
Yeah.
Probably.
He's the guy I'm dating now.
That
I
is
called
so
him,
true.
And he was like, how was it? And I'm like, oh, I'm watching Shop Girl. He goes, oh, cool, I saw that in theaters. I was like, Jason Schwartzman reminds me so much of you. He's like, maybe not a compliment. I was like,
well,
well,
it
you're
depends
going
on
to
the
take it.
point in the movie that you're referencing. If it's prior to the tour, we might have a problem. You might need to talk. Afterwards, you're in good hands.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We'll see. Okay, I have a lot to say about this movie,
Okay.
mainly because, now, I had never seen it before. I watched it
Neither
2
have I.
nights ago.
You never read the novel.
Never read the novel. All I knew about it was what you have told me about this film, and I knew that you
We knew your love
sympathized-
for it.
Yeah, we knew
so
your
we
love for
assigned ourselves
Yeah.
Shop Girl
Okay.
so we could talk about it with you.
Yes.
And
And I remember you telling me that you sympathized with Steve Martin's character a lot, and the movie always makes you sad. And I think the way you described it to me was like, it's sad because at the end he basically gives up the girl to the more deserving guy, or the guy that he knows she deserves to be with, and basically says, I'll step back and do that. That is not how I view this movie at all. He's a commitment phobe. Even if he actually loves her, he doesn't really want to be with her.
Right.
So he just lets her make her own choice, and her choice is to be with Jason Schwartzman, because Jason Schwartzman really wants to be with her and treat her
I don't
well.
think, but he didn't
doesn't want
realize
to.
that
I
he
feel
loved
no
her till the
sympathy.
end. That's
I
the
feel
problem
no sympathy
too.
for
Before
Steve
she was
Martin's
already
character.
gone.
Well, see, the issue, young Ms. Howard, is everything I told you was true from a certain point of view. Yes, Steve Martin gives her up because he realizes that's all he's capable of giving. He can't commit. He is everything you're describing. He's not a good character. He's not a good person.
No.
So he is the bad guy, and that's one of the things. Other than the ill-fated dentist movie where Steve Martin was a bad guy, Helena Bonham Carter's in. I think it's called Novocaine. He kind of a bad character there. We don't really.
I thought you were talking about Little Shop of Horrors.
I know, at first I was like, this is like a musical
He's
you're
played
talking
2
about.
dentists. I looked that movie up. It's not that great, but it's Steve Martin in kind of a bad role. I think Steve Martin's kind of the villain in this movie.
He is.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't,
sure.
because I thought that I would feel sorry for him. Like, he does this from what you described it, he does kind of a selfless act in the end where he really loves her, but he realizes he needs to give her up to be with the younger guy, whatever. But I
Sure.
thought that's what it was going to be. But
Sure.
it's not. He doesn't deserve her at all. He doesn't deserve love because he's not looking for love. He's not committed to it. I have no sympathy for him.
It's not that he's not looking for love. He's messed up.
And he
He's messed
doesn't
up.
realize that that's what he wanted
Yeah.
at the end.
He's
I think that's the
incapable.
problem.
Right. But this is because you're Mirabelle.
I
Yes,
am
you are.
Maribel.
You
I am a shop girl.
You're a
I
shop
literally
girl
work retail.
who
I am a
moved to
shop girl,
LA.
and I'm
Yeah.
dating Jason Schwartzman right now.
Yeah.
I am.
So
You need your Ray Porter.
you need your
I
Ray
do. I
Porter.
need
To
a
grease
Ray
your
Porter.
palm.
No,
Yeah.
no one's
Pay off
given
my
you-
student loans.
Right? It's
No
not a
one's,
bad thing.
no one's offered me that yet. I'm
So by
still
the end of this
looking, though.
conversation, I hope to convince you that he's not a horrible person. He's just a messed up person.
Right.
What are your thoughts on his movies?
Okay, well, I had, similar thoughts. Obviously, he didn't realize till the end that he did love her, and by then it's too late. And maybe because it's too late, that's why he thinks he loves her.
Interesting.
So he knew it was too late
Don't know
before
what
he
you got
even
till
went
it's
to
gone
that
kind of thing?
museum opening. What?
Like a don't know what you got till it's gone kind of thing?
Sure.
Or, okay.
Right? I don't know.
No, I think he knew what he had from the beginning. I think men like this know what they have from the beginning. They know they're not capable of sticking in it. So it becomes this weird situation where he's spoiling her, he's taking care of her, showing love the only way he knows how, which is to flash his money or his privilege or his prestige.
Fanciness.
Right. I think he's sincere in everything. I think he really does. I think he knows early on, and it becomes a struggle. Even in the I think he's lying. The scene he's lying the most in is when he's lying to his therapist. I think he's telling the therapist what he wants himself to believe. And at the end of the movie is what he really believed the whole time, which is he did love her. He's just incapable of it. He's incapable of love. It's a complicated character.
It is.
By the way, for those in podcast land, two women are staring daggers at me.
Daggers!
They both know that I've explained that this character is me. So
I
now
know, and I'm
your
like,
view
you're
of-
not like that,
Your view
Ken.
of me.
Will you pay off my student loan?
Yeah.
Ken?
Yes.
I don't have one,
I'm
but
incapable of that.
I have plenty of student loans you can pay off. Ken Napzok. I want a pretty dress.
Yeah. No. So I think maybe you're struggling realizing that I'm a bad guy.
You're not a bad guy. You're my favorite guy.
Yeah. But
no, it's just more of a window into your mind, I think.
that's what I keep telling people.
It
This
really
movie
is.
has been discussed by me in therapy several times with my therapist.
And what does your therapist say?
He just shakes his head.
Okay.
I think that you think that you're
I'm sure
Steve
there's more
Martin's
words.
character. That you want to be Steve Martin's character. You are not Steve Martin's character. That's not you.
At one point, I don't want this to be about my psychosis, but at one point I was Jason Schwartzman asking for $10 to go to a movie. Like that, every guy at some point is that. And actually, that's one of the best parts of the movie too, is taking it outside of how I connect to it with Steve Martin's character, Ray Porter. I think the growth of Schwartzman's character, Jeremy, is what most men should go through.
And definitely artists.
Yeah, an
Because
artist.
he's definitely an artist that's
And
like...
every man needs to kind of learn to become a gentleman / an actual real man. And like we could throw gender politics aside. This isn't about that. It's just about growing up and maturing. And I think that storyline is just as important to the movie if I'm watching it as a movie. If I just want to get depressed, I just focus on Ray Porter. So that's why I love the movie so much too. There's so many layers.
I want to talk about a scene real quick. It's with Bridget Wilson Sampras.
Yeah. Pete
And
Sampras' wife. Yeah.
it's like she's talking to Claire Danes' character, and Claire Danes is saying like, there's this man and he is, he's kind of pursuing me, and what do I like? What's going on? I just want to talk to you because we work together. And then she goes over exactly what she needs to do, what Claire Danes needs to do to get this man to like be eating out of the palm of her hand, which is hilarious because like I can totally see myself having this conversation with you, Stacey, and being like, here's what you do, Stacey.
Take me through this conversation. Let me be a fly on the wall. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we've had similar conversations.
We talk about
I mean,
dating a lot.
not that like specific.
Really?
Let's
Yeah,
just
not
let's just
that
get
technical.
that.
You don't need
Right.
to lie to me. You can tell.
Yeah.
Tell Ray Porter everything.
But because I'm older than Stacy, I
And
kind of have a little
married.
knowledge about certain things.
Yeah.
Although I haven't been in the dating world as much as you have. It's that's completely different to me.
Sure.
So,
Well, that would make sense. I mean, you've got, I don't want to say you've got to the end game, but as a married now mother, I mean, you've been
Right.
through the fires, and you can look back to a young Padawan learner like Stacey.
I'm still in
Hammond.
the fires. I'm still
Right.
burning.
In the fires.
Someone hand me a glass of water.
Yeah. Some guys showing up to her house with like a bag of fries that are grease eaten through a bag, and
That's literally happened to me though. It's,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a real thing. It's a real
Exactly.
thing
So
that went on.
I like that scene too. I like that, and that's if you just take this movie as an LA story as well, not to make pun on the LA story, it is a great movie as well. That's kind of that LA girl and that kind of beautiful Bridget Wilson Sampras is a beautiful woman, plays a beautiful character, but she's a tragic character, and the whole seduction of who she thinks is Ray is dastardly and evil.
Right. She's terrible.
She gets what she deserves, but at the same time you kind of feel for her. It's not a happy movie.
It's not. It's really not. If it was just about her and Jason Schwartzman's character, it would absolutely be like a rom-com and be really funny. But because you add this other element to it and show how all these people are lacking in something in their life, it makes it this like very depressingly real story.
Now,
Well, yeah.
another thing, like Claire Danes herself, anytime I see a Claire Danes movie, I'm always like, the thought in my head is like, that, when I was going to SC and getting my theater degree, I was like, I wanted to be Claire Danes. Like, I wanted to be
My
her in
So-Called Life,
everything. Like, anything that she played in, I was like, I could do that. I could definitely work on this. I can get to her level.
Right.
Like, so anytime I see Claire Danes, I'm always like, I could play that role.
Yeah,
I could do that.
But you still could, huh?
Maybe. No, not now.
No?
Not now.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
practice anymore.
You
But
could be Homeland.
there's that, and then now it's switched to Allison Brie. Anytime I see her stuff, I'm like,
I love Allison Brie, yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
But
Sleeping with Other
Gotta get
People
back.
is a
Oh, I
good
saw
movie.
a screening of that, and the
good
writer
movie.
was there.
Yeah,
She was great.
it's a good movie.
Yeah, she
Southern
was like
American.
wildly flailing her legs and
Yeah.
yelling at the audience. It was really great.
The writer or Allison
The
Brie?
writer.
Oh, okay.
Allison Brie was there too, and Jason
Okay.
Sudeikis.
Allison
Everyone
Brie's
was there.
still the only celebrity I've accidentally stopped. With the Ralphs up on the corner. here.
accidentally.
Oh gosh! Did she know that you were?
She did. She got to her car and she smiled at me when she got in the car.
Oh
And I was
gosh!
on the phone. I was on the phone with Joe Ruggiero going, "I'm following Allison Brie." All right, interesting insight into you. You
Yeah.
fancy yourself a Claire Danes.
I do. I
Back
did.
from my
I
so-called
did.
life to now. Yeah,
That's right.
fair enough.
You know what? My favorite part of this movie were some of Steve Martin's choices, because he directed this, right? No,
No.
he didn't. Never mind.
He
Never
did
mind.
not. He wrote the
it.
screenplay.
He wrote the
yeah,
screenplay.
based off
Okay,
the
well,
book, but he
And
didn't
Ann
direct.
Tucker.
That's right. Okay, well then some of the director's choices, like she's a lot more vulnerable emotionally and physically throughout the movie, because you never see Steve Martin nude, and you never see him do anything really sexual, but you see her nude,
Yeah.
like laying on the
Right.
bed, and so you get to see her in a more vulnerable place. But he's never unkept. He always looks perfect. He's always in a suit.
Right.
He's always having dinner somewhere fancy. Like
Right.
you never see him out of his element, and you always see her, and she's always kind of uncomfortable in his world. So I
Right.
liked that, and I know that was like a conscious choice on the part of
Sure.
the director, but I thought it worked really well, and I liked that aspect of the movie.
Absolutely. It's a great. I mean, it's a great. Yeah, like I said, it's a clear choice, and you feel it. You feel the coldness, his struggle, I think, and also her being willing. That's a great scene. I think that's one of my favorite. It's not quite a sex scene, but yes, it's my favorite romantic scene in any movie. Just her kind of like dresses off. I'm
Yeah.
yours. It's full. It's just her, this scared little bird.
Yeah.
Kinda giving herself up physically and emotionally to this
Right.
cold, cut off, drawn off man.
That's
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, don't worry, okay? I'm protecting myself, protecting my little bird nest.
I
okay?
really did want to know, though, is there a glove section at Saks Fifth Avenue? Because
There
I've been to
absolutely
Saks
is.
Fifth Avenue.
It is in the movie. It's Saks, but in the novella, it's been around since I've read it. It's another
Like Neiman Marcus?
It might be Neiman Marcus.
Okay.
Yeah, and he.
But there wouldn't be like a girl that's just assigned to the gloves the entire time. She would have been somewhere else because no one's at the gloves.
I don't know the logistics
Okay,
of
okay.
retail. I don't know that too well, but and I know for a fact that he actually did date a retail clerk at one of these stores. It is
Steve
based,
Martin
yeah,
did?
it's based loosely off his own experiences.
Huh.
From
As
years
like
ago.
stated her in the midst of his own success, or when he was
Yep.
younger and a struggling
Yep.
comedian.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
As Steve Martin as we know him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Post
okay.
divorce from his first wife and pre
Oh.
marriage now. Yeah.
And you knew that
Interesting.
Tom Hanks was supposed to play the Ray Porter, right?
I had heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Be an
I'm
interesting
glad Steve
choice.
Did it. I'm glad Steve did it.
Yeah,
Would have
me
been
too.
different, but and he played it so sparsely and cold and drawn off.
Yeah.
He doesn't say a lot in the movie. You know, his
No.
voice never goes above a certain register.
He's always controlled. He's always contained.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
And
used-
Jimmy Fallon was also supposed to be
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy. Actually, that would have been kind of
I
interesting.
don't know. That would have changed my view of the
But
movie. Maybe.
I thought Jason Schwartzman did a really good
I
job.
fell in love with him. I really did.
See?
See,
I
this
thought
is
it-
why your
You need
current
to-
relationship.
You need to give her more guts.
I do, obviously.
He's
When
a
the
good
mics are not
guy.
hot,
Yeah.
we'll be discussing
He's
He's
a
a
a little
good
bit more.
guy. He is.
Oh, he's a great guy.
nice.
No, and I think again, I really identify with some of the stuff earlier on in my own life with him, and then I love the moments early on of is this where we kiss now?
Yeah.
And I love Mirabelle's line about, are you the kind of person
Yeah.
that get better as you get to know him? And
I liked that.
I liked it's the relationship is really sweet, and it's good, and it's real. It's real. That's what I love about the movie. I know a lot of people that don't like this movie. A lot of people don't it's not overly funny. It's definitely not overly romantic.
Nope.
It's just kind of this story about life. And the novella is great, and I think so. I think I went into it liking it. And at the time the movie came out, when did this come out? 05?
05.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So 05, I was 30. So I was going into the movie thinking I was more attaching myself to Jason Schwartzman's character. And then as in the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, now 10 years, I'm definitely right bored. I definitely
Isn't
see
that
as
kind
his
of
movie.
most people, like they have that transition from I identify with this character, oh wait, now I identify with Bart Simpson, now I identify with Homer.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, I now identify with Obi-Wan more than I do Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's how movies
Makes sense.
last, is you have
course.
different generations in the film and you can identify with them as you grow older.
Yeah.
Whoa, movies
But-
were
Delightful.
Cool.
But I'm so interested. I mean, your thoughts on this movie, watching it so fresh now, and knowing how much I talk about this movie, it's very fascinating to me.
I enjoyed it. I'm
Yeah.
glad that I watched it, and I'm glad that I have an insight into the mind of Ken Napzok.
It's a
Like,
dark landscape.
Yeah, it is.
Dark
it is. I'm a little
But-
worried.
But a beautiful landscape. It's he is such Steve Martin is such an interesting character, and that I didn't sympathize with him, but I did understand where he was coming from, and I could see where he wanted to go, and he just couldn't go that way.
You
So
have to play nice now. You can call him an a-hole.
no, he's not an asshole though. But I mean, from going into this
Yeah.
film, the way you described him, I thought it was gonna be this like the end was this like self-sacrifice of like I love her and I want to be with her, but she wants to be with someone else, so I'm gonna let her go. But that's not the end. It's
Right.
he didn't really want to be with her in that way, or he couldn't
Sure.
be with her in that way. So he decided to tell her this, and she's heartbroken, but she accepts it, and then ends up with a person who is actually gonna love her and give her
Yeah.
emotional support and attention. So,
Yeah, it's the great line of Jeremy eclipsing Ray as a lover. It's a great thing that great sentiment early on because he's just so open with his emotions, young Jeremy. So I think there's a little bit of it's funny to hear you describe what you thought it was going in based on what I was saying.
yeah.
Clearly, jokes aside, a certain point of view. I think you're a little Mirabelle who's like, oh, it's a story of sweet love. And I'm like,
Yay!
yeah, it's an old guy with a broken heart who can't commit. Yeah.
In mine, it's this poor girl who wants this handsome, successful older man to love her, and he just won't do it, so she has to move on.
Yeah, and thankfully she does. And in all,
does,
in all
yeah.
facets of her life, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Mirabelle growing up.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I really like this character. I liked Mirabelle a lot. I really identified with her. I like that you said that I'm like Mirabelle.
Yeah, you're a little shop girl.
I am a little shop girl.
You're a shop girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Right?
Right?
Ms. Movies?
Right?
That's a
That's
good thing,
right. I identify with Vivian Ward, though, guys. Moving on to our next movies. We're going to link it to rich guys that fall in love with poor gals.
Is that
Yes.
the link, huh?
That's
That's
the
the
link.
link.
There
Very
it is.
specific link.
Very specific. So let's go over to Pretty Woman, which came out March 23rd, 1990. A man in a legal but hurtful business needs an escort to some social events and hires a beautiful prostitute he meets, only to fall in love.
That's a weird description
That
for
is.
this movie. In a legal but hurtful business? That's super
Well,
weird that they decided to make that very
Specific.
specific.
Well, you have to understand that he is very powerful and
I know that.
and all that
Yeah.
he gives up
Mm-hmm.
for love.
Yes. Well,
So there you go.
he didn't give anything up, really.
Well, he did. I mean, it's been a while, but he does give he gives in at that one meeting.
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
but he's going
Well,
to
he
build
changes.
something with it. He decided not to
Not to
buy
go
the
with-
company
yeah.
and break it apart. He decides to help them build
Grow.
some things to grow it. So he's still gonna make some. He's still
Well,
gonna
I'm
make bank.
sure he's still powerful.
He'll still be fine. He's still got a Lotus. Okay.
He's still got a Lotus Esprit. When
This is another one of Ken's favorites, and this is why we picked this as well.
It's one of my favorite movies. I once famous to just me, saw it 5 times in one day.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Saw it early morning, little lunchtime viewing. Mom came home. It was summertime. She came home from work. She watched it. We kind of had it on again. And my sister and her friends came home, and they watched it, and I just kind of ended up sticking around. Watched it 5 times in one day. Love this movie. And I asked my mother one day, it's back in early high school, I'm like, I don't understand why I like this movie. And you can make jokes about the sex scenes or anything. I take that out. Serious conversation. I was like, I don't know why. Because I always loved it When Harry Met Sally as well, which is a movie my mother got me hooked on as well. My mom said simply, and I quite knowledgeably, I think you just like watching 2 people fall in love. I think you, meaning you, can just like that. There's something about that you like that.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah, which is a shame that I'm now Ray Porter. That this is what's happened to me. And I think that's the reason. I just like this story. And you know what? It is silly. In the original drafts or versions, I've always heard tell that it's supposed to be a dark movie.
Yeah.
It got kind of Disney-fied in a way and rom-commed in a way. But at the time, and I'm not making an age joke, but you probably don't remember at the time, this was all the rage. This movie,
I wasn't born when it was out.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless you.
How old were you when it came out?
This came out 2 months before I was born. I was born in May of 1990, and this came out in March of 1990.
Let's see, I was 9 when this released.
9. Okay,
yes.
So 1990, it was 14.
Okay, so we're close.
We're close. We're close enough.
Compadre.
14. And it was all the rage. I mean, Julia Roberts is definitely, at the time, it was the world's sweetheart. So it was this movie was big, man.
This was her big, coming out, I am here, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Following Steel Magnolias, Mystic Pizza, and then this one. She was 23 at the time.
Oh my gosh! And this movie was very financially successful. It only had a budget of $14 million, but it made like $460 million worldwide.
Insane. I'm sure it's still making tons of money.
All the time. It's constantly parodied and quoted. Any
favorite quotes, guys. Favorite
montage
quotes.
Or
Ready?
whatever. What?
Welcome to Hollywood. What's your dream?
I say that one a lot. I also say Cinderfucking-rella.
I say that one too.
Yeah, that one's good.
It's a Saturday. I do that a lot. I used to do that at my old job, no matter what day it was. Hector Elizondo.
Big mistake. Big mistake.
Huge. You girls woke our commission right.
When did you finally see it? When did you, Stacey,
probably when I was like 10 years old, when it was appropriate.
When it was appropriate,
sure.
Right?
Now, you guys know that I watch movies way too young.
Right.
I saw Silence of the Lambs when I was 9 years old, and I was like, this is what movies are. I understand. Cool. Okay. So we watched HBO way too young at my house.
Sure.
I was too little. But it doesn't matter because it honed me into the woman I am today.
I probably saw this closer to 18. I know that it was on at a sleepover when I was way too young, and I knew that I wasn't supposed to be watching it, and so I was not in the room while everyone else was watching it. Because I was like, I know I'm not supposed to.
If it's anytime I see a rerun of that I Love Lucy grape scene, I get a little hot under the collar.
Really?
That's connected to another scene in another. I know what you mean. And my mother was so protective of me growing up of movies. As you guys know, that's the reason I haven't seen a lot of movies. We've discussed that on your old podcast, Miss Movies. And but this one and When Harry Met Sally, she was all on board for. Let me watch it.
Because she liked it too.
She liked it too. Which is also why I've seen Yentl a lot.
Oh, Yentl. Papa, can you hear me?
Yep.
Good music.
I'm going into the whole thing in my head. Sandra Bullock turned down the role of Vivian, although there were a ton of different actresses that went out for this.
Michelle Pfeiffer, I think.
Yeah, and
but that was when it was darker. And when I say dark, I mean it was supposed to be. He kills her at the end. He kills her. Kit dies of an overdose. She's addicted to heroin. She works as a prostitute because she wants to get on a bus with her prostitute friends to go to Disneyland. All kinds of shit goes down.
Right.
And so Michelle Pfeiffer and all those people were vying for this role because they thought it was going to be a gritty, real look at the seedy world of prostitution. And then it, a few months later, it's the new movie that everyone loves and quotes.
It becomes this.
Yeah.
I'm glad it became this, though. I don't think we needed.
I don't think we would remember it as much if it were darker. I don't think this would be something we'd be talking about.
No.
It's the sweetest little movie about a prostitute I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I'm like, what other prostitute movies have I seen?
Every time I see a prostitute, I'm just waiting for her to say, she saved him right back. But I love, Jason Alexander is great in this movie.
And terrible, too.
Terrible, such
He's
an
the bad
a-hole.
guy.
Absolutely.
He's a rapist in this movie.
He's a total sexual predator.
Oh my gosh.
He's so against type, what we came to know him as. But I'm a big fan of Richard Gere, and I think he just hits a home run in this movie.
Can you imagine if it was Sylvester Stallone? Because that's what it would have been.
What?
Or Albert Brooks.
All apologies to JTE.
Albert Brooks.
I could not imagine Sylvester.
I can't imagine it either.
Yeah.
I do love Richard Gere.
I'm a safety girl. But I love this movie.
Originally they weren't going to cast Julia Roberts, or Richard Gere wasn't going to do it, and then Julia Roberts flew to New York to meet with him, and he was on the phone about to be like, I'm not going to do it, and she wrote on a little post-it, please say yes, and then passed it to him, and then he was like, I got to do it now.
Yeah,
it was a cute little moment. You can't resist Julia
Roberts.
You
can't turn down Julia Roberts.
No, you can't. When she's staring at you with that big mop of red hair.
Yeah,
I sympathize with that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
of course.
When I don't do my hair, no, it's huge.
I'm seeing, though, Ms. Movies, I've seen a theme we got here. We got characters that you could confuse Stacey Howard for.
Absolutely.
Pretty woman here.
Our next one might be more me.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we go into it? Let's go. Okay, so our next film, where the rich guy falls in love with the poor girl, is My Fair Lady.
Which I have seen.
My Fair Lady.
Good
I'm
job,
so glad you have.
Henry Higgins.
She can't say her
This
name.
came out on Christmas in 1964 and has a 3-hour runtime, kids.
Oh,
so,
see, this is why I didn't rewatch it.
Exactly why I didn't as well.
I want to rewatch it.
Wow, you're right. That's crazy.
I was a little disappointed to learn that Audrey Hepburn's voice was dubbed for singing because I know she worked really hard on singing it, and I guess they were just like, too bad. We're putting someone else in here because you haven't got this.
I didn't know
that. They dubbed a lot of people's voices. They
dub people all the time, but
yeah, but like for her, she tried really hard and worked on it, like you said, and she was like super upset when they dubbed her voice and rushed out of the room, and then the next day she had to apologize to the whole crew.
Right.
So I can understand that though.
What other than the theme? What draws you to this movie?
I just like the transformation of the character. Like being this,
young woman. Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
How she goes from this poor woman to, well, I mean, it's really kind of sad because she does go from this poor woman to this woman that's now refined and has all these luxuries because she's been with these gentlemen that are, can pay for her. She was like on the streets before that selling flowers. And once they reach their goal of trying to pass her off as some refined woman at a gala, it's kind of like, now what?
Right.
What do we do with her?
Yeah.
She goes back? What happens? And that part to me is like the most heartbreaking because it's like, what do you do at the end of your experiment? What happens?
Right. Yeah. Because now she knows how to play that role. She knows that she was this one kind of woman.
But she's also become that role, too.
And yeah, she's become this role. Now she is refined. It's not like she's just acting refined. You are refined. If you know, how to act in polite society and how to speak and talk, that means you're a refined person. So you can't just go back to being the flower girl, but then you don't have the money to be the refined woman. You don't have the pedigree and the black background or the blue blood or anything. So what do you do? And
I like that this movie leaves it open. Because
it does, right?
At the end, you don't know. I mean, they are not really together.
She returns, right?
She returns.
Refresh my memory.
Yes. Okay. So it's like she comes. They like have this big issue. They split up, and then she returns, and it's kind of the end. Like you don't know if she's like what's going to happen next.
Right.
Like, are they going to be together? Are they not going to be together? They're in the same room at the same time. Like you're assuming. There is an assumption that takes place that you're thinking they will be together now.
It's an open end. It's like Empire Strikes Back.
Because you could tell that they loved each other,
sure.
but they didn't really know that at the time. And she had this other gentleman that like was in love with her as well. So, who was from the gala?
So is this basically just the Spin Doctor's Two Princes? Is this what this is?
I guess.
Yeah.
What are the words that just came in?
Princess kneel before you. It's what I said now. No.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, you don't know the. Spin.
I know the term the Spin Doctors, but they sing something else. What others? What
They sing more than one. One song.
I have several of their albums because I was.
What's the famous one?
Kid.
What's the famous song?
Two Princes.
That's no. What's it sound like?
1, 2, Princess kneel before you. That's what I say now. Come, I'm not going to sing it because then
we sing on this
Google
podcast.
This later.
Okay, Google it later. But it's about two men and a woman with a choice.
Okay.
And that's a little bit what's going on.
Okay. That's a common theme.
Yeah.
It's a common shop girl theme.
It is kind of
Two
a
men,
common.
one woman, a choice.
I mean, she has the choice of the other aristocrat, though, like the gentleman that she met at the gala that she's into, because he's definitely into her. I think they were like maybe, said to be getting married or something like that.
Right.
But she doesn't want him. She wants Rex.
She wants Rex.
Or
What do you
that's
think?
his real name, Henry Higgins.
Yeah, Rex Harrison.
Henry Higgins.
Why do you think that's? Why do you think she? Why do you think make a case for her choosing Henry Higgins?
It's kind of like The Notebook.
Okay.
She goes back to what is familiar to her.
Her first love.
But
Okay.
that's not like I always get worried about the whole Notebook and going back to your first love. I was like, but the second love is just as good. Like we don't necessarily
James
need
Marsden,
to be
Come on.
Right.
to go back to
Right.
that first love. But
It's
I think it's more familiar.
yeah. How do you women make these choices? I'm so curious.
How do we make
How do
these
you
make
choices
choices?
about men?
I don't.
or
I
what?
haven't had.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanna know
I haven't
that.
had a first love yet, so I don't know what it's like to feel that first love and then move on to the next one and then miss the first love. I
Okay.
don't know that feeling.
Okay. All right.
But I do know that I love vanilla ice cream. And then when I go and have a normal meal,
No, this
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
I want to eat vanilla ice cream again. It tastes good. I remember the flavor.
Yes.
Sure.
I want it in my mouth again.
Say
So
that
maybe
slower.
that's how people look at relationships.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to find out, when faced with choices, because I think women generally have these choices more than men, because we're just dumb idiots. We'll run around.
Well,
trying
no.
Yeah. No.
Women have to make those choices more so because men just throw their fishing line out
That's what I mean.
in
We're
multiple
dumb idiots.
directions and
Yep.
see what they can reel in.
Yep.
But women only have a few choices.
Right.
They have fewer choices than men.
The chambers.
I
of a
think
woman's
that
heart
depends
contain
on your
treasures.
age as well, though.
Okay.
like,
This is great insight.
Because once you get to a certain age,
Sure.
like now that I'm older, I do realize my power as a woman.
Sure.
And like I feel like it would be different. Like I don't think I would have just one choice or think about one at this age.
Sure.
Like I feel like I could have more choices because I'm older and I'm more confident in myself.
In yourself now.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not a shop girl anymore.
No.
Right.
I've moved up.
You've moved up. You've studied. Now you're giving money to Kit DeLuca to help her.
Right.
Okay.
Leave this for Kid DeLuca.
Yeah.
Come pick it
Yeah.
up.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. It's just spawning questions in my head. As a Ray Porter, I'm trying to learn. The mysteries of the smarter creatures that you are.
So maybe the younger women have the less options. So maybe that's where you should go.
Or they feel like
I don't know.
they feel like they have the last
Trust me,
options.
that doesn't work as well.
Because they have the
either.
dreams.
They
That
have,
makes it hard.
They have too
Dreams
much
are hard.
energy. Too much energy.
Energy too.
Too much hope. I need to find the broken down ones.
The wounded little birds.
I need to find the ones who are happy with the last rung.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But even
Ray.
then, I wouldn't commit.
Oh, it kills me. It kills me that you say that, Ken.
It's okay. You're running back into the arms of Jason
Jason
Schwartzman.
Schwartzman.
Jeremy, you're okay, and that's life.
That is life.
The movie fades out. It ends. It's good.
Okay.
Credits.
It's good. I
Okay.
just had this recently. I just had lunch with my ex-girlfriend, and she was telling me how happy she is with her new boyfriend, and I was like, I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. And I was. But at any point, I probably could have, she would have taken me back. Which is
So why didn't you go back to her, Ken?
because I know
He wasn't
that
ready.
it's better for her not. It's better for her to run to the art gala and into the arms of Jeremy.
I don't think so. I don't think that's why you chose that. It's because you don't want it.
Maybe.
But then you cry boo-hoo that you don't have it. But you made that choice.
Right. What are you, Nick Mundy?
I'm just analyzing
This
you.
is what Nick Mundy tells me.
You know
You're
what?
analyzing me, but
We
I'm
do
analyzing
often
you.
say like that Stacey is the Nick Mundy of the podcast and I am the Dan Merle of this
Yes,
podcast.
perfect.
So
Meaning I
there we
yell a
go.
lot more than she does. So she's like, Stacey, calm down.
I have to reel it in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
got to keep this on
Good.
track.
This is good. This is
Keep
good.
sanity. Mhm.
So there's My Fair Lady, guys.
Okay. It's a great movie.
We're
It's a
gonna
great
close
show.
that
Classic. I've reading up won 8 Academy Awards. I didn't know that.
Amazing.
What do you
Best
think?
picture, best
Yeah.
actor in a leading role, best director, cinematographer, art set direction, costume, sound, and score. Was also nominated for screenplay adapted, supporting actor, actress in a supporting role, and best editing. But as we've said before, not best actress because that award went to Julie Andrews for Mary Poppins,
Yes.
who
So
should
weird.
have been Eliza.
Yeah, because she was
But she
Eliza on
wasn't.
Broadway.
And Walt Disney was like, I will delay Mary Poppins so she can do My Fair Lady if you want her to. But they were like, nope, we want Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
Suck
They want
us.
someone more known. But then when he, who's the lead guy who plays Rex?
Rex. His name is Rex
Oh, his
Harrison.
name is Rex.
Rex
Sorry, Rex Harrison. He didn't want Audrey Hepburn to do it because he said she was too refined and regal. And
Right.
he was like, she can't play like a dirty.
Well, because he
flower
played
girl.
it on
Yeah,
Broadway
he played
with
it, and he
Julie
wanted
Andrews.
Julie.
So he was probably, in her, in her corner.
But then he eventually fell in love with Audrey Hepburn and was like,
Well, of
she
course,
is
who
the
wouldn't?
she's
Right.
the greatest leading lady I've ever had, is what he would
That's
say.
nice.
And then when he won the Academy Award, he thanked his two fair
Yes.
ladies, meaning Julie
How
and
nice.
Audrey. So isn't that cute?
That's
Isn't that
cute.
lovely?
I'm getting
Aw.
chills.
I know.
Could
I
be
know.
because I don't have
I'll
a
turn
coat
up
on.
the heat.
Okay, so
That
what are
means you
we?
need more whiskey.
Oh,
What movie are we
I am
going
out.
from now? Are we doing Pretty Woman
Do you want
first?
us to go?
Do you want us
First.
to go off of My Fair Lady to show you how to do it?
I'll go off of Pretty Woman for one.
Okay.
How about
Okay.
that?
All right, sounds good.
You go.
Mhm.
So you guys leave it open to me. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
great. The great concept of your
And
show.
we don't know what you're gonna say.
You don't know. We haven't
Mystery.
discussed. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and I was trying to find what connects from Shop Girl to Pretty Woman to another movie. And I harken back to what is at the core that I love about Pretty Woman, and I told you I like watching two people fall in love, even though I don't believe that love is real.
Okay.
So this
Stop
movie
it, Ryan.
from 2000 is Return
Aw.
to Me.
I do like Return to Me.
Return
I'm
to
glad
Me.
we've seen
What's
this.
this?
This is a sweetheart of a
Hand it
movie.
over. Okay.
Directed and co-written by Bonnie Hunt. Don Lake also involved. Don Lake, a great improviser, very famous, famously known for, well, famously he's probably not known for his roles in a lot of Christopher Guest movies. Best in Show, he's the guy in charge of the facility. And David Duchovny, Minnie Driver, Carol O'Connor, a lot of other classic actors. And it is I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay.
This is tough. You've
Yeah,
seen this.
I have
obviously.
seen it.
So I'm going to spoil it for Miss Stacy. But
Okay.
Minnie Driver and David Duchovny, they're going to fall in love, and you watch them fall in love. But there's a wrinkle and a mystery that comes out. And this movie's sad, too, at the
It
beginning.
is.
You're going to cry some tears.
How sad? Like A Walk to Remember sad? Or like
No. What?
no
For you.
death? Does someone get cancer?
Well, okay.
Shit.
So,
Okay, I spoiled it for myself.
there's definitely a tragedy that happens.
There's a tragedy.
She gets cancer.
No,
She has a
we
baby,
don't.
it
No,
gets cancer.
you're not going to guess it,
Okay.
so we're not going to go there.
He's her brother.
This
No,
isn't Game of Thrones.
no. Okay. So basically, yeah, there's a tragedy, and then from that tragedy springs this love story.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep it at
Yeah.
that.
But then
because-
there's even a wrinkle to that.
yeah,
But it's got...
you don't realize
Right.
that
Um,
that there is another connection that happens between the two that comes from the tragedy as well.
Carol O'Connor, James Belushi, Bonnie Hunt, of course, they're funny in it. David Ellinger, Robert Loggia, Mr. President, I stand by your side. Robert Loggia's in it, and a lot of classic old music in it.
I remember seeing it in theaters,
I did
so it's
too,
been a
yeah.
long time. I don't think I've seen it since theaters, and I don't remember when it came out. So
2000
Okay.
came out in 2000. I'm a Duchovny guy. I'm also I like Minnie Driver a lot. A big fan of Girls Point Blank, so I like Minnie Driver.
Yes.
And this is in this cynical world, Stacy, with guys like me running around this world not committing to love. This type of movie is sweet. It's touching. And it kind of gives you the sprinkles, the love sprinkles. Like you just
Okay.
kind of sprinkle over your heart, and you'll enjoy it.
Okay. I feel like I've seen this poster 1,000 times. Did this used to be on Netflix? I know I've
It
seen
could
it like
have been.
scrolling through, and I was like, "What's that?" It's got Minnie Driver in it.
It could be there now. Who knows? This is
Who
a
knows?
very,
No
like, if you
idea.
look at we're looking at it right now on the DVD, and it's like two people just looking at each other, gazing into each other's eyes. That could be any movie on
That could be-
Netflix,
that could be
really.
any movie. A lot of
So-
those 1.5 star rated independent comedy, romantic comedies that show up there. I sometimes just do that. Alicia Malone and I share that trait where we'll just watch kind of the worst romantic comedies
Right.
out there that I can find. And then sometimes you stumble onto some great ones like Man Up, which is great out there now, Lake Bell and Simon Pegg, but otherwise there's some really bad ones. But this is really good. Really good. I highly recommend it. And again, it's that connection of watching two people fall in love, which is something I'm kind of fascinated with. Like, how does that actually happen? I believe love is chemicals and circumstance. And this is... David Duchovny does not start the movie single.
Okay.
So that's a weird path, and that's and you talked about first loves or second loves or second choices. I sometimes wonder if I don't know if I believe in soulmates or the one or the person you're supposed to be with, and there might be others. Life's a long journey, and this movie's a little bit about that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm convinced about this.
In what way?
It's all right.
Let me convince
She's
you.
like, what role am I in this movie? And
Yeah,
so therefore she
who
can't,
will-
since
who
she
will
can't see
I
who Stacy is in the
identify
film.
with?
I think you're a little. Well, you're. Yeah. All right. Just maybe give it a watch. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Whatever movie
Maybe.
you tell me to watch, I will
He
watch
has
it.
watched
I
Shop
always
Girl and
do.
it was fabulous.
That's
So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think
that's
if he's
right.
recommending Return to Me, it's going to be great.
Okay.
I mean, I've already
I'll
seen
watch
it. I already know it's great. But
It's the opposite of Shop Girl
It
in the
is.
sense that this is a very sweet, touching movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
all
mean,
the feels.
all the feels.
All the feels.
A little bit of syrup on that cake. Do you have syrup on cake? Waffles. A little bit of syrup on those
Okay.
waffles.
All right. I predict cancer. Someone in here has cancer. Someone dies. Something happens.
There's tragedy.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to
I'm not
keep it
gonna
at.
stop
So
until I actually
there's
guess what happens.
There's a scene with a dog that's just going to break your heart.
Is it Marley and Me dog scene?
No.
The dog? No, the dog doesn't die. Okay. All right.
No,
I'm gonna stop
no.
guessing because I don't want to spoil the movie
Yeah.
for myself.
So that's my movie. I go from Shop Girl to Pretty Woman to that one. I got one more, but
Okay.
you can go to yours.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Right.
Our theme off of My Fair Lady is rags to riches.
Okay.
So I'm going with the 1982 classic Annie.
Seen it, love it.
I figured you'd seen it, so I thought we could talk about this. A young orphan girl's adventures in finding a family that will take her. Directed by John Huston, who did The Maltese Falcon and Moby Dick, as well as he starred in plenty of other films as well. And starring Albert Finney, who I love as Daddy Warbucks, Carol Burnett as Miss Hannigan, Anne Reinking as Grace Farrell, Tim Curry as Rooster Hannigan, Bernadette Peters
right.
as Lily St. Regis, Aileen Quinn as Annie, and Jeffrey Holder as Punjab. Those are like the main characters of this movie. It was made for $50 million, but it in the box office only made $57 million, so it was not well received. However, I bet it probably did pretty good once it came out on video, DVD, all that other stuff.
Yeah. I saw this in the theaters. I'm getting it up on IMDb right now. I saw it in the theaters, and in trivia, question point, Eileen Quinn, I guess would be the one. That was like my first crush.
Aw.
So I was 6 when that came out. And I remember like kind of coming home from the movie theater and not
You're like,
not
what am I
knowing-
feeling?
Yeah, not know what I'm feeling, but going, I liked that girl on the screen and
Right.
having like daydreams of like hanging out with Annie because
Right.
I'm 6 and I just that's all you do, you know?
Sharing your Capri Suns.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Flipping the
cute.
Capri
Tab was
Suns,
like the soda
Tab,
back then,
yeah,
right? There we
some
go.
Diet Right. Yeah, that's a great choice. I love that movie.
And Steve Martin was supposed to play the part of Rooster, but he turned it down because Bernadette Peters was, you know,
Oh.
his counterpart, and they were kind of going through a kind of a breakup at the time. So he was like, I don't think this is going to work
That's
out.
right, following the jerk.
Which I thought Tim Curry kills it as Rooster. He is so good. I mean, he kills it in every film. We've talked about
Curry's
Tim
so
Curry
great.
on this podcast, but just him and Bernadette Peters, and there's a song with them and Carol Burnett and them finding the locket that is just phenomenal. Like Easy Street, that's what it's called, and it's
Right.
so good. That's
Right.
probably my favorite one of the entire
Don't
movie.
mind a grown man in a Simpsons
Oh, no.
onesie behind
Of course
me.
not.
That's why we
You can't be
roommate
stealthy in a Simpson onesie. But
Simpsons onesie. Yeah, you know, I haven't seen I haven't seen this movie since the theater.
Right, that's okay.
I'd be so curious. I know it's probably a little corny and cheesy in a kids movie now, but I'd be so curious my reaction to watch it again. I don't really remember it. I just
Right.
remember emotions and feelings. I'm like Princess Leia describing her mother. Like I just visions. Really, that's what I remember is for the next couple of weeks after, just me just kind of having this weird butterfly feeling in my tummy because I like
tingly
that.
feelings in your nether
Yeah, I
region, huh?
kind of liked that girl with the curly red hair.
Aww.
Yeah.
I remember my mom showing me this movie because my mom often showed me movies when I was little, saying, I loved this movie when I was little because of this and this, so I want you to watch this. This is important. And she showed me this because of Carol Burnett's performance
Right.
and the singing, and I don't remember anything else, but I remember the scene where she's like, isn't she like drunk in the bathtub? She has
Yes.
like
Yes.
the pearls. Like I
remember
remember
that.
her being like, watch this woman. She has an incredible show. She's done so much for women in comedy and everything. Like she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
telling me the importance of this one actress in it, and that's why I
Right.
remember this film.
Right.
But nothing. I don't remember anything else from it, except for her and Tim Curry's performances.
I do remember this movie came up for me recently because on So You Think You Can Dance, they
Sure.
did Dance to Easy Street, and it was phenomenal. Like, if you can YouTube that, So You Think You Can Dance, Easy Street, you will see probably one of the best dance numbers that you've ever seen.
Okay.
Do I have to?
No, but I'm just saying, if you like dance, you're going to love that.
I like drunk dancing at weddings.
Okay.
Yeah.
What song?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because I'm usually not hearing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you were a professional dancer in those movies.
Right.
I
I'm a
know
professional, guys. Professional.
You got the pops and the hips and the locks and the 1s, 2s, and 3s. and you
I
know
will
what
do
to
a routine for you right now.
I know you can. I know you can.
I remember liking Hard Knock Life too.
Right.
Like I would jump up and dance. Like I'm sure I did Hard Knock Life, or like
Probably.
a tap dance or something when I was.
Some sort of
when I
show
was
choir.
younger. Yeah, well, not even show choir. Like I did competitive dance, so I'm sure we did
Oh, there's
Hard
two
Knock Life.
dancers here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was like my life growing up was dance.
Really?
And I did choir when I was in high school,
Sure.
and I did some theater and stuff. But dance
What'd you
and
do?
also 4-H, showing animals.
Well, okay.
Polar
You
opposites.
are from Texas.
This is
so,
true.
yeah.
This is true. Yeah, dance. We always did these like big, theatrical numbers and stuff. So I'm sure I've done some kind of rendition
It's
of Hard Knock
hard.
Life.
Of course.
Life.
I think my first solo was maybe Far Away.
Oh
Like
yeah.
in when I was in sixth grade choir, and we do
Sure.
like a big spring show. My first solo ever, first time on the mic.
Wow.
That was it.
This movie runs deep for both of you.
Yeah.
It does. Who knew? Who knew?
Right.
And I just thought of that just now. I was like, oh yeah, we did that, didn't we?
Brings you back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Those terrible cummerbunds. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
So bad. I'm bow
We
ties.
had the long black dresses
That's
that
probably
we had to
better
wear.
than what we
yeah,
had.
and then the men had to wear the cummerbunds, or the boys, should I say?
Long-
Right.
Yeah, or the long black dresses.
So there you go.
Okay.
That's Annie.
All right. What's your other movie?
My other
Ken?
choice? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think I followed the rules.
That's
That's okay.
okay.
No one
Um,
ever does. Literally 2 people out of the 30
Who?
guests we've had.
Who?
Jonathan London followed
yeah,
the rules.
He followed the rules.
Makes sense.
And
Jamie
then
Woodham.
Jamie.
Okay.
Jamie did it right.
I don't know. I don't know that person, but I'm guessing.
He's
He's a writer and a
hilarious.
comedian who's great.
Okay. Okay. All right. Nick Money didn't follow the rules at all.
No,
right?
Nick Money did not follow. He brought like 4 movies and none of them tied together. And
They
I,
did. Weren't they like
No.
Lori Petty films? They were.
Kind of.
They
Tank
were.
Girl. He brought Tank.
He brought,
He brought
Tank
Tank Girl and A
he brought
League
A
of,
League
of Their Own, and those went off of Point Break.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
he did
I
it
guess.
fine.
But
He
he brought
did it.
other movies though.
So okay. So I
He
just,
kind of did it.
I
He
just
kind
try
of
to
did it.
keep up with Nick Money.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
As
So
long as you're as
from
good as
Shop
that.
Girl to Pretty Woman to Return to Me, what did I say? What's one of the themes is this is
People
a
falling
movie
in love.
where people fall in love, which is one of the themes. Keeping that theme, that's the master theme.
Okay.
Subtext, sub theme. like I said, David Duchovny does not start this movie with Minnie Driver, and he's not single. He's with someone else. Okay. So I'm going off that theme. I often question, is there a soulmate? You start with one, does that mean you end up with that one? And no movie better answers that question for me than Serendipity.
Oh, Serendipity.
One of the sugary, sweetest movies I own, and it's horrible in many senses.
This is the movie that makes me want to go to New York just to go to Serendipity.
Yes.
I didn't have the chance to go. Make no mistake, this is not, just like the prequels, they're not good, but you can still get some entertainment out of them.
Yes.
I love this movie. I love John Cusack in this era. High Fidelity, Grosse Pointe Blank is all around that same time.
Right.
Love Kate Beckinsale. I mean, that is a gorgeous woman. I love Nick Drake on the soundtrack. And I love that this movie kind of confuses me because he is getting married at the beginning of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Forces of Nature.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. That's a good movie.
Yep.
Sandy Bulls in that movie. She's a hot mess. It's like
we can talk about that later.
Like
you two doing Unchained Melody. No, they do some covers. What do they do? They do another cover in the credits. Right.
It's like if you took her character from 28 Days and then just shoved her in a rom-com. Like she's still a hot mess and probably a drug addict. And
I think this is somewhat
Have you seen this?
I have, yeah. Okay. I have.
Okay. So this movie affects me in a way. As surfacey as this is, and it's simple plot device. I mean, you can write anything into the script because it's serendipity. It's going to happen because it's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. This movie kind of rattles me to my core. I still watch it now. I watch it about once a year, and I put it in, and it rattles me a little bit.
What year did this come out?
I want to say early 2000. I want to say 2000.
I will still write on dollars just because.
Right.
I want to see if it'll come back to me.
Now, I know it's early 2000s,
if it will return to me.
She has the flippy haircut, and she has the thin little scarf, that you would put on and have the two little things hold down.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, look on the back. Yeah, the thin scarf. You remember that from 2002?
Yeah. I'm sure I still have a thin scarf.
Like Kate and Leopold, Meg Ryan is dressed just like that. And just look up Kate and Leopold, and that's the exact outfit she has on, because it's like 2002, 2003. I know my fashion.
She's a savant.
Now I'm curious. But this movie, it rattles me to the core. Because he's getting married. That's the end game, right? That's end game. Mm-hmm. He's walking down the aisle, and then he can't get this one that he just ran into in passing.
Because she's all like quirky, mysterious, and ethereal.
It's because the whole 80-20%.
It's a little manic
idea.
Pixie dream girl. But what's the 80-20?
Okay, the 80-20 is something I learned from How Did This Get Made? When they were doing that movie Temptation by Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry, yes, that's right. Oh, okay. Tyler Perry was talking about how infidelity happens and how in a marriage or in a relationship you are always at 80% with someone. And someone will come along and they'll be filling that 20% void that you have.
I'd like to fill that 20%.
And then you end up going for the 20%, thinking that they're going to complete the 100% for you, when in reality they don't, because every relationship only runs at 80%.
And 80 is passing. And 80 is better than passing.
I consider it 90%. 90-10.
You know what? This is why
80 is a B. That's a good grade.
I just wonder if you need starter marriages. I don't know.
You mean a George Clooney?
Yeah.
He had a 1-year starter marriage, and now he's with them all.
And I forget. I lost a trivia battle because I didn't know his first wife's name.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know his first wife.
No, because I have a friend of mine named Tim who's almost 15 years into his second marriage, and he has 2 kids, and it's working. This one's going to stick. And he told me it's because the older you get, you go through the first one, the first big serious loves and the breakups and everything. You're looking for 10s. You're looking for not physical appearance, but just you're looking for 10s across the categories. And then you get older, and then something fails. You come out of that, and you're like, I'll take a 6. I will take someone that knocks off 6 categories for me.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see your 80% theory. That works for me.
That's not my theory. It's Tyler Perry's.
God bless you, Tyler Perry.
I personally was like, I don't know about 80-20. I think 90-10 is probably a little more.
90-10?
A little more like that.
And then I've witnessed recently, and over the last couple of years, I've witnessed people go for the 20.
Right.
And it doesn't work out. And so that's why this movie, how it ends great with a Nick Drake song, but this is one of the movies I want the camera to fade out and then fade up to the next morning.
Sure.
and just like, oh crap, we did it.
Yeah,
Much
why
like
we
the
do
ending
that?
of The
The
Graduate.
graduate, I was about to say
Right.
that, yeah. Looking at each other on the
Like,
bus, like, what did we do?
whoa. And does
Can't
he
go back
feel
now.
anything? And does
Right.
John Cusack's character for any regret for basically leaving his fiancée at the altar?
Right.
And so it rattles me a little bit, Ms. Howard. It rattles me. This isn't
Okay,
just
Mr. Napzok.
this isn't just a sugary, sweet little love movie.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just because there's people out there yelling at their
They could be.
podcast machines.
All 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 7. We have 7
Okay, we're up to
reviews on
7
iTunes,
now.
Okay.
I have a good authority that Cody Hall listens every week.
Hey, Cody.
That's enough.
So this movie's it's a little darker than I think people want to. It's a pop song, but I think there's a depressing ballad behind it.
Right.
It's like Pumped Up Kicks. That's about like
Sure.
a shooting, but it's like
Right.
it's like a little
Okay.
You're
sugary
like,
ballad, but it's about
I
like
don't
literally a
understand
shooting.
kids these days and their popular music.
Yeah.
So that's my choice.
But
2001.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get it.
okay.
It's interesting.
and then-
There's definitely 10%ers that have come into my
Yeah.
life, and I'm like, get out.
Get out.
Like, it's time for you to leave.
Ooh, and then they get to a 15 or a 5.
I'm
and
like, you cannot be in my life at this
Right,
time.
but
We have to say goodbye because that's not okay.
But it's
But I'm
so
intrigued by
fun
it.
to give in to the 10.
No, it's
15%.
not. I have the 90% that I'm with.
Yeah, no, but I'm fascinated by that. Again, it goes back, it ties back to me being Ray Porter.
Mm-hmm.
And fear of commitment, sometimes my fear of commitment is wondering what happens when I walk into the next room and I see someone else. It's like the end of High Fidelity, which I can
Oh, wait. Don't tell me.
I haven't seen High Fidelity, and she hasn't.
Wait, what?
I've seen it,
What's
but I've
going
only
on?
seen
We haven't seen
parts.
This is
so
confusing me.
I know.
I don't
know.
understand this.
That people haven't seen movies, Ken. You should be very familiar with that.
Thank you, Stacey.
Touche.
Very nice. Very nice.
Touche. But wow.
So
okay.
don't go there.
We're gonna do a follow-up podcast.
Okay.
After you
Sweet.
watch High Fidelity, right?
We
100%
will.
we
We will
will.
do another episode, and we will
Okay.
do High Fidelity, and from there talk about 6
We will
movies,
stalk
and
you
we
at
will
your
have
work
you.
at lunchtime.
Yes, we will come
And
at lunchtime.
I don't get lunches, but you can
We will
stop
stalk
by.
you at your
They'll
work
let
at
us
some
in.
point.
Okay, they know us.
Um,
We're very important people
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Wow. Well, there's a theme in that ties into that too. It's
Okay.
all
Okay.
it's all I'm all fascinated by love and relationships,
Okay.
which is probably why I don't have them. I just study them like science.
Nice.
See, this is again like I think that you want to be that way, and you think you're that way, but you're not that way, Ken.
You
You're
might be
not-
right, because go back to 1990 when all I wanted to do was watch two people fall in love. One of them a businessman, the other a hooker.
All right, so back to Rags to Riches. Let's
Okay.
get to our last
okay,
film.
back to your
last final film
Okay.
right now.
So from My Fair Lady, we're doing Rags to Riches movies. You did Annie. I'm gonna do A Knight's Tale. I'm gonna do a male version of Rags to Riches.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
Heath
Never
Ledger.
seen it, but I'm familiar with it.
Never seen it. Okay, it's actually really good. It's very unique. It came out in 2001. It was a pretty big deal.
Pulling a
because-
lot of movies from that era.
Yeah, early 2000s. Thin scarf,
Yeah.
flip hair is our theme for today. It made like 117 million at the box office. What I love about this movie is that it's set in, well, okay, for those of you that don't know the synopsis for it, after his master dies, a peasant squire, fueled by his desire for food and glory, creates a new identity for himself as a knight. So Heath Ledger plays the squire/knight. It's got Rufus Sewell, Shannon Sosamon, how do we pronounce her name? Paul Bettany, Laura Frazier, Mark Addy, Alan Tudyk. It's got some incredible comedic and dramatic actors who have played both kinds of roles. And they use modern music in this movie, and not music from like the 1400s.
Oh,
Right.
right, I remember the trailer.
Yeah, it's
We
great.
Will Rock You plays
Yes,
in the trailer,
and
right?
they
It
do.
does.
Yeah, they have. What's that? I don't know the name of the. Well, I don't know the name of a lot of these classic rock songs, but he used that. The director said he used modern music to show modern audiences what people then felt about their music, because when true Renaissance music is used, you don't know what you're supposed to feel emotionally. You're not familiar with it, but those people would have been. So it's like, what would they have felt when they heard songs familiar to
Right.
them? So he
Gotcha.
used songs familiar to
Is
us.
this kind of like the Rocky of jousting?
It is. It's
Okay.
absolutely the Rocky of jousting. There's a training montage. There's people encouraging him. It's an underdog coming up through the ranks. He's probably a southpaw too. He jousted with his left hand. I don't know. That's fake facts. I don't know about that. But it's really cute. It's a really really, really cute movie. It's very inspiring. Heath Ledger is absolutely adorable in it. I totally fell in love with him. Alan Tudyk is great. Paul Bettany does these. He plays Chaucer, the author, who at one point in his time, there's a year of his life that no one knows what he was doing. So this is supposed to be that year of his life. And he's like, plays the announcer for Heath Ledger's character. So he'll go in and no one knows him. He made up a name, so nobody knows this night. And so he'll go in and address the peasants in the crowd and get them all riled up for this night. So he does these like incredible speeches and uses his, author talents to...
He's the audience warm-up.
Yeah, he's the audience warm-up. He is. He's like the big announcer for him. And it's super well done. I cry every time. Because he comes, he is a little boy, he has to leave. And back then, when you left London, you had to, like, cross the river or whatever. And then if you want, like, people would go away for, like, 20 years. And then when they came back. And so he comes back and he sees his dad again, finally. Because his dad sent him away to have a better life. And then he comes back and his dad is blind now. And they have like a reunion.
Oh, dear.
And he's like, did you follow the stars back home? And I lose it. I lose it every time.
I don't think I've seen this since it came out in theaters.
So good. It's so good.
But
it's so fun.
I remember liking it.
It's
just not something that stuck
really
with
cute.
me.
It's still on Netflix.
Yeah?
You should still
I like
watch
Shannon Sossaman and
She's great.
Mark Addy, of course. Robert Baratheon for Game of Thrones is in it. That's great. Wow, you've inspired me.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm inspired. You like the film.
And look, Ledger. Even I've seen 10 Things I Hate About You a couple times.
Oh,
I
love that.
Ledger's great in that movie.
I love 10 Things I
You
Hate
can
About
see
You.
even then, So I'd be giving it a go now. I'd risk sitting down and wasting 2 hours of my life for this.
Oh, good.
It's like an hour and a half.
We want to know if you do it, though.
Even
I want to know.
Yeah, I need you to live tweet it. Like, I live tweet movies
Sure.
in a very entertaining way.
You do. You're very
you
funny.
to do this.
Yeah, I've said that from the beginning. You're very good Twitterer.
Twitterer, a tweeter.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I really want you to watch this.
Okay.
He's just an adorable young man who is like the Rocky of jousting. He wants so bad to succeed, not to win, but just to prove to himself and his family who believed in him that he can do it. He just wants to make his dad proud and his friends proud. And it's got some great... it's really, really funny. I laughed through the whole film. Alan Tudyk and Mark Addy are
jousting,
great.
huh?
Yeah.
Let's put that on there.
Do you think JT would agree with that?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm almost positive he's seen A Knight's Tale.
Okay.
We can ask
He's
him
seen
right
every
after this.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's JT. Come
Pretty
on.
much.
He's seen every movie.
I like that theme. I like your guys' rags to riches and rags to love riches theme here. It's good.
Thank you.
Oh, very good. So we went from
Yes.
our feature film was Shop Girl. We went to Rich Guys That Fall in Love with Poor Girls, and we did Pretty Woman as well as My Fair Lady. Off of My Fair Lady, we did Rags to Riches when we did Annie as well as Knight's Tale. From Pretty Woman, our link was People That Fall in Love.
Yeah,
watching people fall in love.
Creeper. And we go to Return to Me, and then from there we go into is there really such thing as a soulmate, first love, second love? What's those big questions? And we go to the very sweet but yet serious Serendipity.
Very nice. So at the end of our show, we usually do movie link tweets. I tweet out our first link, which is Rich Guys That Fall in Love with Poor Girls. What's your favorite film of that? I got a few back. Matthew Johnston says Arthur, the original, and She's All That. Bruised by Dawn says Ever After. Joseph Kramer, Pretty Woman, As Good as It Gets, You've Got Mail. Jack Shipley says King Ralph. Lisa Yu says Pretty in Pink. Bald Brian says Silence of the Lambs. And Kevin Malazan says Forrest Gump.
Nice. And of course, we always link it somehow back to Kevin Bacon. So Kevin Bacon was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Steve Martin, who was in Shop Girl. That's a short one.
Nice.
That's a good one. Yeah.
We do pretty good sometimes. And in our final segment of the film, I don't know if you've listened, Ken, but this is where Stacey does a terrible impression of Rocky. Would Shop Girl be better with Rocky? Now, we're going to have Rocky play Jeremy.
Yeah.
So here is a line from... So, Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, as Jeremy in Shop Girl.
Okay.
Ready? And scene.
Okay.
Close my eyes to hear it fully.
Congratulations. You've officially gone on a date with Jeremy. Don't forget to hold the handle when you lock the door. That's it.
You've
That's
like
it.
morphed into
That's
some
it.
sort of
I know. It's like
accent
we're
at
in the movie
end.
Rocky. For those
It
of
is.
you that don't know why we do that,
Yeah.
we did an episode where we talked about Rocky and discovered that I do a terrible Rocky impression
So
because
now
our
we do it
guest
every-
did a good one and I kept trying to imitate it
Yeah.
and I'm horrible.
Now we do it every
Yeah,
single
we
But
do.
time.
she makes me do it
That's
every
right.
time.
That's
I
right.
didn't get that quote. She brought that
I
quote for
did.
me.
That's good. That's a good hook.
Yeah,
Good job.
Yeah,
I like that. Who did the good impression?
Jamie did.
Jamie Woodham.
Okay. Good.
Friend of the show, writer. Check out his work. He's great.
Great.
He is great, and Nick Mundy calls that segment "batshit insane."
Yeah, batshit insane.
So
The craziest
you
thing
know
he's
it's
ever
good.
heard on a
You know it's
podcast.
good if Nick
like
Mundy
it.
calls it that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like that. Excellent.
Where can we find you, Ken?
You can find me in a dark, deep pit of despair and loneliness, watching Shop Girl for the 30th time.
And Knight's Tale for the
And
first
Knight's
time.
Tale for the first time, and waiting for you to watch High Fidelity. But you can also find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms, where I'll be talking about the return of the Schmoes Know and all my stuff
Yay.
with Screen Junkies and the Star Wars stuff I do with Joseph Scrimshaw and Jennifer Landa at Force Center Pod on Twitter, or the Force Center podcast feed, talking Star Wars like a grown male should.
Of course they should, Stacy.
You can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012 and on Instagram at Stacey O. Howard. And I'm not private right now, so I guess follow me on that. I forgot what I do. Okay. And
You can find me every goddamn day on Twitter at Miss Movies. And that's it.
Fun. Thanks
Good
for being on
times.
our show, Ken.
Yes,
It
thank
was
you.
my pleasure. Thanks for coming out and making the trip to my castle and enjoying
course.
some fine whiskey. And
Yes, thank
Miss
you.
Movies, you have finished your whiskey, which means,
did.
Stacey, you're going to be driving home.
Okay.
Yay! Well, we're
Alright.
so excited because it's the, introduction to our show is Ken's voice.
I know.
Oh, that's right.
I totally just forgot that until just
Yeah.
this second.
Just now when I said it.
Just now when you
so
said it.
yay, we're so excited. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. 6 Degrees of Feature Film is produced by Stacey Howard and me. Special thank you to Ken Napzok for our intro and Matt Brown for our artwork.